Welcome back to, I nearly said Tuesday because I saw LB's face. Welcome back to Straight Facts on Wednesday. Got a big show for you today with LB, Judge Mo, and Don Husam in the house. Loads to talk about. There's some big transfer news that I am bringing to you from a Tottenham and Chelsea source today in relation to Wharton and Yildiz. We're looking ahead at the big semi-final tonight between Arsenal and Chelsea. Plus, we're talking the Manchester derby as well. Might even throw a little bit of Xabi Alonso into the conversation. So sit yourselves down, grab a cup of tea, coffee, bit of water, whatever you drink. Have it ready to go right now. But gentlemen, how are we all? We all well and good?
Yes, welcome LB to the Wednesday stream. You get me. This is an upgrade. So big up to you. Welcome to the best Straight Facts show of the week. Big up to everyone locked in. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. £1 for every time LB mentions Osimhen is what Chez is saying. £1 for every time you told us to trust the process. £1 for every time you told us how good your players are. £1 for every time you don't turn up on a match reaction when Chelsea suck. How about that? Anyway, big up, guys.
Chez also shamelessly was calling me out when I was with Goldbridge early. He was like, Goldbridge is speaking facts about, like, should have signed Conor Gallagher. This man shamelessly chased Conor Gallagher out of his own football club. Moron, Chez. You're not fooling me. We're not morons here. That's been the weirdest part of my week, I can't lie, guys, is watching Man United fans die on this Gallagher hill. Anyone's better than no. That's how we got Ugarte, isn't it? Honestly, it's been a weird week as a United fan. It's been a very, 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 very weird week as a Man United fan.
Has it not been a weird decade for United fans?
Do you know what? It has. It's been a weird 13 years in terms of the way things have gone. But I'm talking more the fan base. This last week, 10 days, like today, I'm watching Man United fans cream their pants because Sky have called out the Glazers. Oh, thank you, Sky. Thank you, Sky, for saying they're bad. We've waited 20 years for this. Fuck you, Sky. Fuck you talking about it now because it's trending and there's a protest coming. Because every time we're having a bad season, it's should the manager be sacked? Oh, look at Paul Pogba's walking stats. Oh, Rashford didn't go training. Oh, McTominay's a problem. Fellaini's a problem. 007. Ooh, 007. Woo. Now the Glazer talk. Fuck you talking about the Glazers. Anyone talking about the Glazers or ownership now, do one. Metaphorically, jump off a bridge. Your opinion can jump off a bridge, not you, the person, the opinion. Because I'm sick to my back. It's weird. It's really, really weird.
Can I ask you guys something? Who's Scotty T MBE that has over 1 million followers on Twitter?
Who?
Someone called Scotty T MBE.
Oh, he's from Geordie Shore. Oh, okay. It's a big reality. Funnily enough, he's actually friends with one of my old students I used to teach kickboxing to in a roundabout way. They're very good friends. He's a reality TV star. He was going the DNA.
The DNA thing about money. You saw the tweet, right? And you saw the responses and the replies from the Man United fans. It's actually funny.
But this is it. But the only reason people like Scotty T get any kind of sort of traction with saying there's no DNA at Man United is because some Man United fans say we have no DNA, which again, we do, but I don't expect any of you three to give a fuck about it. I don't think
that DNA thing is I think he put it in a sarcastic way, but I don't think he is wrong. Like,
of course he's wrong.
That word about Man United DNA is like Husam in 2015 coming to us and telling us, by the way, Liverpool DNA from the 80s when we used to dominate Europe and England.
No. You misunderstand. You misunderstand. No. Just
talking about Pep Guardiola. Let me talk, bro. Imagine LB.
But you're chatting shit. You're chatting shit about my club. You're chatting bullshit.
You're just sensitive. Because the guy literally, this is exactly what happened. Like, imagine LB 20 years from now is talking about our DNA is always winning 3-peat and 4-peat. Bro, that was like 20 years ago with Pep Guardiola.
No. It's not the same. But no one has said that's what the DNA is. It not elements of what are the traditions of Inter Milan? What are the non-negotiables as being a fan? What things do your club believe in? What do you believe in?
We're all together. It doesn't matter if you're international, if you're local, it doesn't matter. That's actually the motto of the club.
Okay. So that's part of your DNA. So if suddenly a new manager comes along and starts saying, I only care about the opinions of people born in Milan, you would say that goes against our club's DNA, would you not?
Yes.
So there we go. DNA.
So what is your Man United DNA then? Just enlighten us, Terry Flores. Enlighten us.
Okay, you all know what it is.
No, enlighten us about Man United winning DNA. Enlighten.
So what's the DNA, Terry?
What you've done there is you've added the word winning in, because that isn't what people are talking about. The element of the DNA that is being discussed is something that's been a tradition in our club for over 100 years. It's about developing young players. It's something that we as fans are passionate about and we love. And this stems as far back as the Busby Babes. And it's an important part. And for me, if we're not buying young talent and or nurturing young talent from our own academy and looking to develop them and put them into the first team, we're not Manchester United. I would not be happy if we abandon that process. For me, that is one of the reasons I love the football club. As a kid, when my dad bought me the books all about the Busby Babes, yes, there was a tragedy that I actually think makes it a deeper connection. But learning about that is an important part of our heritage as a club. And I don't want to ever walk away from being a club that doesn't give young players that are talented enough opportunities. That's one part of it. I also think we should be a club that looks to play attacking football. The problem with the DNA conversation is that the media manipulate it, and then you get idiot pundits that talk about it, which is we're not saying that we're the only club that has a certain style of football that we want to play, that we're used to, that makes us feel like it's our club, or has certain connections to developing youth players, etc. We're not saying we're unique. It's just unique to us. We all have DNA, right? All three of us have actual DNA. Four of us have real DNA. But our DNA,
we're human beings.
Yes, our DNA isn't the same. Man United are not making a claim we're the only club in England to have DNA. The rest of you is shit. We're just saying we have one. My problem is people go against it. There are just certain traditions, playing young players, having attacking football. Fletcher is not a good enough coach to take us forward. But what he did in both games, and he lost, but what he did in both games is what I consider part of our DNA. He tried to win. The intent was there. So against Burnley, what does he do? Takes off defensive-minded players, brings on attackers, goes for the win. That is what we want to see at our club versus what Amorim did.
Was Amorim not trying to win?
So when Amorim, when you're playing against 10 men and you keep 5 defenders on, and your only substitution is one centre-back for another centre-back, and they stay at centre-back, that for me goes against what we want to see as fans. That is not trying to win. When you are 1-0 down at home and you decide to take off a centre-back for Lisandro Martinez and he stays at the back, and you've got 2 or 3 young attack-minded players on the bench and you don't just throw them on to try and win the game, that for me goes against our principles as a football club. Irrespective of Fergie, Busby, that goes against it. Now, some of you might go, yeah, but my club feels exactly the same, Terry. Well, that's fine. But we're just talking about ourselves. Just because it's how we feel doesn't mean you can't feel it as well about your club. No one is claiming we're the only ones with an identity of how we like to play and how we like to do things. And that intent needs to be there. 100%.
I think the whole DNA thing for me is just like, I don't know, man. I just think it's just pointless. It's just a stupid thing to say. Yeah, you need to get back to winning football matches. You do that by however you do that. Yeah, and DNA is it's just I don't know what it means for me.
Buzzword, bro. It's a buzzword.
It's a buzzword, bro.
I don't think it is, because it's been explained. But equally, getting back to winning ways, you do that by going back to the things that we had done for over 100 years that brought us success. The 2 times in our there's been 3 really barren periods in Man United, sort of post World War II, when football kind of started moving on to a more professional level, and that was after the Munich air disaster. We lost our team. It took 10 years to rebuild. When we abandoned the style of football, the intent to win, the high standards, the professionalism at the club, and developing our own youth players, when we abandoned that in the early 70s, it took us until Fergie come in to start rebuilding that, and we've abandoned it again since. So the club, when it's operated in a framework that United fans recognise as traditional to us, you have those standards, you have that level of football, you have that quality. For instance, buying Conor Gallagher now as a stopgap, this is what's hard for United fans to compute. I think that goes against the way United should operate, because you're lowering the bar and saying, let's just buy a substandard player to fill a hole. No, we should be aiming for the very best available. That is, again, I look at that as part of the way we behave, because Fergie did it many a times. Rarely would he go, oh, do you know what? I can't get Alan Shearer, so what I'm going to do, who's a bang average striker that flopped in the Premier League in that point? I can't remember who his name was. Let's just say some random person, John Smith, scored 4 goals. No one wants him. Let's just buy him because he's a body. No, we went out and found an alternative who was of high quality in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That's what you should look to do, not lowering the bar and just buying. It's been a weird week. I'm watching Man United fans. I get we want the owners out, and I get we want to go against everything they say and do, but we're not going to help our club by saying it's okay to sign Conor Gallagher. It's okay to sign James Garner. I just find that crazy to me. I think it's crazy.
Conor Gallagher and James Garner. It's fucking crazy.
No, but exactly. Like it's 1 minute I'm told to stop talking about standards and the way United should operate, and it's you're talking about the past, Terry. Okay, well let's go and buy James Garner and Conor Gallagher. Then we will not improve. People think we'll improve with them. Oh fuck me! No, we won't.
They always said, sell that guy, buy this guy. I bet you will actually get top 3.
So these comments always make me laugh. We live in we live in the future, Terry. We live in the future, not the past. So that means no one should have standards then. Because the standards, this is why I know everyone chats shit about this. The standards that we all hold our clubs to are based on what we have done in the past and what we've invested, which, by the way, is always in the past. So, of course, we can't just ignore the past. Otherwise, standards wouldn't exist, would they? Because they're based on what you've won and what you've achieved and where you want to get back to. So it's all bollocks.
Did you know this DNA then about playing academy players and that?
Yeah.
Obviously, you go back to the Fergie years. Do you also accept that United were very fortunate, and it's a very rare situation to have all those players come through as you did, and it's very unlikely to be repeated? So the ambition to have these academy players come through is not always possible, because what you did back then is extremely rare.
So I can explain. It's a very, very good question, and I can explain that. So to have that amount of talent in one go, of course, there is an element of fortune. At the same time, the way we were recruiting those young players is no different now to what Man City are doing. City have one of the best pools of youth in the country. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah, I agree.
And that's because what your club does is goes around the country scouting young players and brings them to their academy. So Man United, led by Fergie and Eric Steele, went around the country and found the Ryan Giggs, found the David Beckhams, found the Neville brothers, and brought them into Old Trafford, took them away from other clubs, one of them from London, and all spread around. So when people say it's fortuitous, yes, but no one says, well, out you go, please, mate. I'm in the middle of talking. Thank you, son. Like, nobody says, oh, City are so fortunate that they found Foden and O'Reilly and Lewis, plus they found all these other talents that couldn't even get into the team and have sold and made money out of them. You're not fortunate that your club had a strategy to go around the country and Europe and find the best young talent and bring them to your academy. That's what we did. That was missing in the 70s and the 80s. And it's the first thing that Sir Alex started fixing when he came to the club. And it's one of the reasons why when the media were saying he was going to be sacked, there was support at board level for Fergie, because they could see what he was doing in the background. He, alongside Eric Steele, rebuilt that academy to be able to produce those players, because no matter the talent, we weren't investing in it. So if he wouldn't have touched it and just come in and said, let's just buy as many superstars as possible, we would never have had those young players coming through and being developed. So from my point of view, yes, there's some fortune. There always is in football. You know, you could sign a really good player. Isn't it fortunate your best player never got a bad injury and R9 did? Yes, there's always fortune. But it was something that we developed in a conscious way. We were proactive in finding the talent and trying to get back to that level. So we didn't stumble upon it by accident. There was a method to the madness in trying to build that.
I just don't think that model now would work to that extent. You might get the Fodens, you might get the Trent Alexander-Arnold one, but the new way of football in the world, unless it changes in the next 10, 20 years, is you got to go out and buy the best talent and utilize them along with
both
one academy player. Like even Rico Lewis at Manchester City. Like you watch Rico Lewis kind of like was with the treble, and then Nico O'Reilly, for example, you can see that the guy is head and shoulders above the rest of the talents around in the Premier League as a youngster. You know what I mean? But you got to go out and buy a Semenyo.
Yes,
but you have to go out and buy a Semenyo.
No one disagrees. No one disagrees with that. That's also part of how we want to operate.
But you have been doing this, Terry. But you have been going out and buying the best.
Again. Yeah, we have bought some top talent on paper. We've been over the last 10 years. We've bought players that didn't want to come. We've just thrown £500,000 a week at them to change their mind, and it failed. That isn't how Man United used to operate in our successful periods. It isn't just about buying the best. It's buying people that want to be at your club for the right reasons. And no Man United fan that speaks of our youth and our academy says just play our youngsters. Equally, Shea Lacey is not ready to start week in, week out for Manchester United. The reason we were frustrated is that we had a squad that was suddenly threadbare. We needed an attacking player to come on in a game. Our traditions show that you give people a chance. Kiko Makeda never went on to be a great player for us, but he created one of the most iconic moments in Premier League football history when coming on against Villa and scored that goal. The next week, he scores the winner against Sunderland. He never did anything else after that. But if Man United, as a tradition, didn't trust the academy players they were investing millions of pounds in as a unit to develop, if we'd have just gone, we're going to stick we're just going to stick a midfielder up there instead, we may not have won those games. We wouldn't have won the league that year. It's about taking that risk and trusting in them and seeing what they can do. Nobody is suggesting just play academy players. No one is saying never buy a star because I want to see a young player developed. It's a combination of these things. But what happens with Man United, as always, is everything is taken to the nth degree and exaggerated and taken completely out of proportion and context. No Man United fan has said just play academy players. Equally, no real Man United fan just wants to sign superstars and abandon what we believe to be our traditions. It's a balance of the two things.
But that's nothing to do with DNA, though. Shea Lacey not coming on when you needed him to come on. That's just because you had a dead manager.
Well, it's about him going against the traditions of the football club. Him not showing intent.
Terry, it's nothing to do with traditions or anything like that. It's your manager actively decided not to put on that attacking player.
Well, it's both. He absolutely did, and he was ridiculed for it, and rightfully so. But it goes against what we want a manager to do. It's why managers like Jose, even when they win you trophies, never land in the same way as attack-minded managers do at United, because our fans want to see attacking football. So as much as they'll support the manager, cheer him on and want him to do well, there's always a disconnect that's there. And a lot of fan bases, your fan base will now, you've had your only great era you do pretty good in the 60s. You've had a great era now. You've had brilliant football. City fans are going to struggle if your next 2 or 3 managers come in, play shit, dead, boring football. It goes against what you've built. Now, you've had 10, 15 years at this level. Spread that over, fast forward 100 years, and you've had large periods of that time playing brilliant, great football. The way your fans in 100 years' time are going to talk about what has become now tradition at your club and how you want to operate and how you are successful, you're going to want that replicated forever. And if a manager comes in and goes against it, you're not going to talk about it just in the general sense of he's not a good enough manager. You're going to say this isn't how City should or should operate. And I make you right in that.
I hear it, but the point that I'm making is, I don't think it's healthy for Man United fans to be going on about this DNA, or he should have put Shea Lacey on because he needed a goal and we need to put academy players on. No, it's nothing to do with Shea Lacey being an academy player. You needed a goal, he should have come on. Liverpool, early on in the season, were playing Newcastle away. They needed a goal. What did the manager do? He put Rio on, the guy back. He didn't put Rio on because he's an academy player. He put Rio on because he wanted a goal and he was one of the only attacking players that they had on the bench. He put him on. United fans, the thing is, you're making it bigger than it needs to be. This manager that was at your football club was a terrible manager. He should never have been in the job anyway, and he should have been sacked after the Europa League final. I don't think it's good for United fans to be talking about this DNA because it just makes the whole thing more confusing, more emotional.
But it isn't. Sorry, Albie.
I think though,
sorry, let me say one thing to that. Husam, sorry, I know you haven't spoken. I'll come to you next. But it isn't more confusing to. I get for outsiders, it's more confusing. But it isn't for Man United fans. And for me, when it comes to you talking about your club, Mo talking about Arsenal, Husam talking about Liverpool, when we're speaking about our clubs, right? A little dig in there. Like from my point of view, I don't care if outsiders find it confusing. I do hear you. It wasn't just because he was an academy player, but it's because traditionally, especially in moments of crisis, we trust our academy players. We expect our managers to give them a go, give them an opportunity in those moments. Now, if they're of obscene talent, we expect them to get opportunities regardless of that. So it isn't just that, it's a combination of these things for me. If he was bought, by the way, for £5 million and he was on the bench, we would have also been just as angry. But then you've got the manager talking negatively about our academy, the owner talking negatively about the academy, the manager sort of half slagging it off and, oh, this player's on loan and done shit. This player's been out there and ain't done this. This player can't even get in the first team squad at the minute and you all wanted him to play 6 months ago. We don't take kindly to our managers doing that. And that's just our way. And I think it's right to do that. But equally, where I agree with you, LB, and I don't want this to go unsaid, is that there are lots of things that are just are not on that level. He was a bad manager and deserved to go. But when he's attacking the academy at the same time, when he's bullshitting to us about Menu, I'm going to defend Manchester United Football Club from him in that regard. Sorry, Husam, to interject over you. Sorry, mate.
I'm saying there is elements of truth to what you both are saying. I'm just sat here listening, trying to understand you guys' argument more with the elite rage bait to start the whole thing, which is the point he said about Ferguson. But the point he said about Ferguson, there is an element of truth to it, because in you guys' lifetime, the only successful United manager has been Alex Ferguson. So to an extent, because the guy was the manager for 30 years, Man United DNA is Alex Ferguson DNA, basically. Like that's something that I don't think is like untrue. Now, I understand there were things that happened before Alex Ferguson, of course. Like not everything was just during Alex Ferguson. But most of the people that watch and support Manchester United now relate to the DNA more to what Alex Ferguson than what really Man United are about. Because, you know, a lot of clubs have managers that have been successful. Like, as an example, I can name like 10 successful Liverpool managers who won trophies at Liverpool Football Club. You know, it's kind of different for Man United. So I think there is an element of truth to it. But at the same time as well, what LB is saying is not true. The reason why I think what LB is saying is not true is not just because he's a bad manager. I think there is an element of, like, you know, when you're a football club that always gives academy players chances, you have to kind of uphold that culture to an extent. And that's something actually that City have been doing for the last 7 to 8 years. I mean, how many youngsters have Pep given a debut to? So many. And you never know what happens. Like, you have some that you lose out on. Like, you look at Cole Palmer as an example. You know, he ended up going to Chelsea and banging at Chelsea, but at City he wasn't quite the thing. Phil Foden, meanwhile, comes on and you know, you have one of the best players in the league over the last, you know, 7 to 8 years. You have examples like this of players. Nico O'Reilly this season, you know, another player comes in, plays left back the whole year. When me and Mo were doing team of the season, we put O'Reilly at left back. We fully put O'Reilly in team of the season. He's just an academy kid. So I think there is an element of, like, if you're a football club that give academy players chances, you have to continue down that road as well, like to an extent. So it's on Amarim, but at the same time, it's club culture, because I do believe every club has its own unique culture as well.
No, I agree. And it's interesting because all the teams that are currently successful around the world regularly have done it by instilling a culture. Some have done it for many, many years, like Barcelona. We all know, would you all agree there's a way a Barcelona manager has got to make his team play?
Yeah, 100%. Attacking football.
And again, and that's existed. That's existed since essentially Cruyff instilled it into that club. It's kind of, again, but prior to that, they weren't doing it. But then since then, that's become their culture. The only reason we recognize that is none of us are tribal when it comes to Barcelona, because they're not part of our league. But it's because they do it irrespective of manager. English clubs are different because we used to build our clubs more in the image of our managers. But again, if people just, I don't expect any of you three to do this, but if you go and read books about what Fergie did when he came in, so much of what he did was essentially, right, what was working in the 50s and the 60s for Samat, we are going to replicate that, but bring it into the, obviously back then, bring it into the 20th century, as it were, but like that era. And he went and replicated a lot. He worked very closely alongside Sir Bobby Charlton, alongside Sir Matt Busby, to reinvigorate it, because where there is success in the past, things that have worked before have a great chance of working again. Maybe not a tactical element, but even then, people say things don't change. Look how long Chris football has been workable in the game. So it does exist. I just don't expect people outside of Manchester United to understand. And a lot of it is cultural. A lot of it may sound very superficial to other people. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. If someone said to me now we could play a boring brand of football, no academy players ever in the team, no traditions that connect us to Man United, but we win the league, I think I'd rather not win the league. It wouldn't feel like Manchester. We might as well play in blue and call ourselves something different. If we're not Manchester United anymore, I don't like it. There's something about it feels off key to me. Something about it doesn't feel right if it isn't your club, and I want those traditions
This DNA
to stay.
that you're talking about, right? Is this Man United DNA or is this Alex Ferguson DNA? Because if it's Alex Ferguson DNA and you're trying to trace Alex Ferguson DNA, you're on the road to nowhere.
Well, hang on a minute. Let's just play a game. I don't think it is, because Sir Alex Ferguson spoke in great detail about going back and researching and looking at what Sir Matt Busby and the team did to take United to another level in the 50s and 60s. But let's just say it all is Sir Alex Ferguson. We've just sat there and said Barcelona are largely successful because of a DNA that a coach brought from Holland to Spain in Johan Cruyff, and it has stayed. So, based on, if we see it work, so even if it was Sir Alex that brought it in, what's wrong with trying to get the professionalism back to the highest possible standards, the academy to the highest possible standards, a brilliant brand of football that can win, trying to buy the best in class, and operating with winning trophies at the tip-top priority of our board? Reinstilling what Fergie did will only make us successful. So I don't have an issue whether it's Fergie DNA or it's older than that. The idea is, why would you not try to replicate something? And I don't mean having one man running the club, but why would you not try and bring all that culture, behaviors, and professionalism back to a football club?
That just, to me, sounds like a well-run football club. Nothing special.
Again, but like I said earlier, I don't expect people outside. Everyone will go, yeah, but my club does that. Yeah, that's your club and the way you operate.
Wow,
but we're speaking about our own. We're speaking
I
about.
can't lie to you. Terry gave a perfectly good explanation there. You just want to argue.
What? So you don't think your club tries to have a good academy and tries to?
No, there is
have
something.
be
You want to know
and-
why Liverpool? Okay, I'll use my club as an example. And Terry knows this because he does Liverpool match reactions. You don't know why Liverpool fans have been annoyed for the last 4 or 5 games, even when we've won games? It's because we've been boring and dead as fuck to watch. So people are getting annoyed. Is that Liverpool DNA? No. Now, if that scenario happens with Chelsea, they wouldn't care. Because Chelsea grew up on Mourinho stinking up the pitch every now and then and winning games, so they don't give a shit. For us, it's different. Now, is Klopp part of our DNA? You damn right Klopp is part of our DNA. Because Klopp built us up and gave us 8-9 years, whether we were winning, losing, or drawing, of great, unbelievable football. So now, when Arne Slot is parking the bus and playing one forward and we end up winning the game 1-0, you damn right we're angry. So yes, there is something called club DNA, because every club stands for something. And I use your club as an example. 10 years from now, when Pep is gone, if a manager comes in, plays defensive football, and wins 6 games out of 8, you think he won't be criticized? 100%.
Can I respond to this? LB. I actually think losers only talk like this. I genuinely believe.
I agree.
I genuinely believe only losers talk like this. I didn't care. Listen,
I agree.
When I watched Inter, like when I started watching Inter back in like late 90s and early 2000s, Inter were known for the club that plays the good football, that has the Zamoranos, the Djorkaevs, we got Baggio from AC Milan and we started. When Mourinho came in and we won, nobody gave a damn if we sat back against Barcelona for 90 minutes, as long as we fucking won it. Nobody sat down and complained.
Did you sit back versus Genoa at home?
No, but no.
Did you sit back versus Torino at home?
Big clubs don't do this.
Okay, there you go then. So you've proven
but Man United just did. Man United just
and Liverpool just did. That's why we're mad.
Man United just did that against the team bottom of the league with the lowest points total this stage of the season.
The manager, oh my God.
Yes, because the manager's going against the traditions.
That has nothing to do with the DNA.
Again, if you're gonna, but this is what you're missing.
Barcelona as an example.
This is what you're missing. This is what you're missing. This is Mo. It's not about Mo. You're reducing this. You're reducing this to rage bait. It's not about losing.
I'm not rage baiting.
No, I agree.
I'm not rage baiting.
I tell you why.
I think he's
Because
right.
I say it like this, and I don't agree with you guys.
It's not about.
I don't agree with you. It's rage bait.
Okay. So this is the thing with it. Sorry, go on.
No. Before Osama, I'm gonna give you evidence. No, Osama, no. Can I give you Real Madrid in La Liga? They still have 60% average ball position, right? and Real Madrid, that's just traditionally because they are the big club. They have the better players, right? If they play against Barcelona and they defend and they win every single fucking El Clasico 1-0, no Real Madrid fan will say, no, we should attract Barcelona.
Okay, we agree.
No, that's a lie. Hang on. But that's a lie.
We agree with that.
We saw them
No
kicking
one
off.
is bringing up. If Terry Flowers comes to Anfield
wow.
for the next 10 years and wins 1-0, he will not complain. That's not the problem, though, because guess what? When Real Madrid come up against Getafe, they have to play attacking football. When Inter Milan came up against Genoa and Torino and Palermo under Mourinho, you played attacking football. You destroyed teams. Even
That's
the Barcelona even the Barcelona that you brought up, you beat them 3-1 in the first leg, playing great football. So when you're bringing a one-off occasion like Arne Slot this season, we played defensive at Anfield versus Real Madrid. No one complained. You want to know why? Because it's fucking Real Madrid. We play defensive against Wolves and win. People complain. You want to know why? Because it's Wolverhampton Wanderers. So when we're talking about club DNA and playing attacking football, yes, I expect my club against 90% of the opposition to play attacking, entertaining.
Which is what you do. Which is what Liverpool do.
Against 90%.
Which is what Liverpool do.
Let me speak. I didn't interrupt you. Let me speak.
You're lying.
Let me speak. You interrupted me. 1 second. You're interrupting me.
You are the number one team in the Premier League.
When Alex Ferguson,
lying to the people.
when Alex Ferguson,
lying to the people, bro.
I'm not lying.
He's
mad. He's mad because I'm disproving his point.
You're lying. You're lying.
Let me finish.
I want the people with brains. Liverpool are the number one team in the Premier League this season in ball position. Above Arsenal, above City.
Who has the most touches? Who has the most touches?
Yet
Virgil van Dijk. Who has the second most touches?
Aside from Jordan. Facts.
You are
about what you think,
ball possession.
Oh my God.
All right, guys.
You are making the big mistake of equating
lying,
ball
bro.
possession. Okay, let me answer now. خلاص, we get it.
And then we're going, guys. And then answer. Then we're going. Hang on. Please stop. I'll let you finish, and then we're going to go to the comments. Okay, so go on.
All right.
You are equating ball possession to attacking football, which is not the case at all. And you're way more intelligent than this because you know ball possession is not equal to attacking football. When you want to look at attacking football, go look where Liverpool are in open chances created. We are 7th, 8th in the league. Go look at these stats that actually show you whether Liverpool are playing attacking football or not, which prove the point that we aren't playing attacking football. Now, back to the overall point. Alex Ferguson.
No, I need to respond to this point. I'm sorry. He's not going to get the
comments. When you both shout, no, guys, I've muted you both. I said to Sam, we're going to the comments next, and then we can respond after. But I'm not ignoring all these comments. All right, so, sorry. Finish up, Sam.
So let me speak, please, more, because you're interrupting me again. Alex Ferguson, in his pomp, he said I'm wrong, right? Let me just read the stats, please. No one interrupt. Expected goals, Liverpool are ninth in the league. Shots on target per match, 11th in the league. Big chances, 8th in the league. Big chances myths, 6th in the league. You see what I'm saying? Like all that attack.
I have one word to respond to this.
The things that show attacking
That's
stats.
because your manager can't sit the team to actually create the chance. But you are the team with the
and
position.
That's why we're complaining.
No.
So that's about DNA. What's so hard to understand?
You spoke about defending. Defending means giving the ball to the opposition and defending. You have the ball, but your manager is inept and he cannot create the chance. That is the problem. You have the ball, you dominate the opposition, and you cannot create the chance because your manager is inept.
So the manager's inept, and he can't get Liverpool to play the brand of football that their fans connect with on an emotional level and believe connects them to their club. Therefore, they don't want him. Exactly what we've said.
Exactly.
This here. I'm going to the super chats now. This is from Patrick. Says newsflash, and a fan of an Italian club doesn't care if his team plays defensive football. Also, water is wet. This is very true. Italians will never complain about that because that is actually part of Italian football DNA. They love teams that can sit back for 90 minutes, defend like powerhouses and nick a 1-0. They'd have sex over that. That is like sex to an Italian when it comes to football. Why? Part of their national DNA to the game.
You started supporting English football when English football was reduced to long balls and run the channels. It's fine. It's fine.
See, you've done it now. You've done it now. So again, you've absolutely done yourself because you don't understand English football. You are right. As you went into the late 70s, 80s, and into the early 90s, English football was on its knees. Fans everywhere were complaining. Why? because we abandoned what we were doing in the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Because you were watching this and it's in your DNA as a fan.
Stop. See, because you know you're wrong, so you've got to interject to deflect people. In the 40s, 50s, and 60s, England played some of the best football in the world from an aesthetically pleasing perspective. When we then started to fail to qualify for tournaments, did terribly in tournaments, and the fans were losing their mind, was in the late 70s, through the 80s, and even the early part of the 90s, when it was dead football. We felt it went against our traditions. We felt we went back from being we went from being a leading nation in the world at football that invented the sport to being a laughing stock because we abandoned how we were meant to try and play football. Which is why when Terry Venables came in and added some more attacking flair and we went out and actually attacked teams, the reconnect in 1996, yes, we were playing at home, and yes, we had 3 lines of song that all banged at the same time. But the way we played football at that tournament, I remember listening to the pundits, my dad, older members of my family, and said, first time it felt in decades, England actually went out there and attacked. Then we changed from Venables and we went through Keegans and Hoddles and these guys who again went back to this really boring, pragmatic, unimaginative style of football, and we didn't want that. Now we've got used to it over the last few years, but it went against what we did. Why? Because we went against our principles. It exists.
I didn't watch the 80s. I didn't watch the 80s, but that's why Liverpool dominated. I didn't watch the 80s based on what Terry said. 80s were boring and English football in the mud. That's why Liverpool dominated
England. English football. The nation.
See,
we're talking internationally.
Yeah, he's talking about international team. That's
dominated
why you like
the continent. Dominated the continent. I like that.
The national team didn't do that. Football changed.
But Liverpool did though.
But that's irrelevant to the point that was being made.
English football. Liverpool were a representative of English football.
No. Why are you not listening, Mo? I'm talking about the national team. That's it.
Yeah, talk about the national team.
City were the best team in the world when England were crap on the
Liverpool
South. What's that got to do with anything?
What does this have to do with the national team?
Not just English players.
Because I was talking a minute ago about the Italian DNA of football, and then you mentioned something about English football being bad.
No, I'm talking about the clubs.
Well,
you're talking about DNA of the clubs. I'm sorry. Man United is different than Man City is different. Liverpool is different.
Yeah, agree.
It has nothing to do. But you all together, I was talking about English football in the league.
Okay, well, I was talking about internationally, but we can move on. Football changed. This is the Premier League where billions are spent, and no Big Six team has under 20. So you're telling me City have not had any players under the age of 20 that have starred in their team in the last few years? You're telling me that Liverpool didn't have any young players in their Trent was, how old was Trent? 35 when he was killing it. Shut up. You're chatting nonsense, bruv. Move on. Poor Terry was enjoying life in Hogwarts, drinking his pumpkin tea, flirting with Hermione, but now is the living hell under Malfoy at Slytherin. I like the reference. I wouldn't. No, I'm not even going to make those comments because people will take it out of context. Terry, Mo's been holding this in since Sunday, since one of our academy players, DNA midfielders, once again dunked on his team, not once but twice.
Scott McTominay, eh, well?
Ferguson re-established what was the United culture. The average age of the Busby Babes was 22 when they won the league in 1955-56. Yes, football has changed, but you can still have a framework for it. Agree. It's why he says one of the reasons, City pretty much implemented one of the most successful frameworks that works at another club, because City, I do get City fans maybe not feeling it because you weren't a successful club. So maybe there wasn't so much to hold on to in that regard. What you did didn't yield massive success, but this period is going to change you. I can assure you. Big up Terry, Husam, Mo, and LB from Alberta, Canada. Thank you, mate.
Big up Michael.
This says, of course, LB, a City fan, a club with zero culture or long-term history, has a trouble understanding the importance of a club DNA.
W comment, Waba. W comment, man. W comment.
Barca has DNA with youth development and playing a style every manager must align to to that large extent. Same with Madrid's DNA as Galacticos. I agree. I agree. But suddenly English clubs talk about it and we're all laughed at. Ajax have a DNA. Munich have a DNA. Dortmund have a DNA. Big up Mo, LB, Husam and Tel. I think DNA is an improper descriptor. Better words would be identity, culture, philosophy. The problem is we all just get told their buzzwords, but they're not. In my
DNA,
personal
though,
opinion.
in football terms, is actually identity, culture, and philosophy. Like footballing terms, it's the same thing. Tom Little went to Anfield for the Liverpool Wolves game. He came back and he said, Slot is losing Anfield, even though we won the game. Because the people are bored shitless watching Liverpool win a game of football because we're not doing what Liverpool are used to doing. Liverpool fans accept in underdog scenarios when we're defending and we're playing really good teams, but not against Wolves at home.
I think where it plays in, one of the big things about United, and it's written all over our ground and our training ground every day, is the words risk, bravery, and attacking football. So where LB is right is Ruben Amorim did a really bad job of not doing that in enough games to try and win matches. Take the risk, show bravery, and try and win. But certain games, away at Anfield, drawing going into the last 5 minutes, like use your fucking brain. But it's because it goes. Fans are angry because we think it goes against what we believe is the right way of doing things. So I think two things can be true at once. The kickboxing terrace, who's on the panel? You can see he's on the panel, bruv. Mr. Flewis, can you teach kickboxing to me also? That's weird. I don't think you'd cope, Donna. I don't think you'd cope with proper training. We're still bitching about Steve Holland. I can't believe people are angry about Steve Holland as well. I know he worked under Southgate. Are we ignoring all the other great coaches he's worked under that rate him? It's very weird behavior. Very weird behavior indeed. This here says, laughing my ass off. You all are arguing the same point with different labels. Managers define styles, win trophies, and it's elite. Change the manager, win again, and the style changes. Arsenal under Arteta proves this.
Actually, Arsenal under Arteta proves me and Terry's point more than anything else. The reason why a lot of Arsenal fans are frustrated was because Arsenal for 2 years did not play attacking football and didn't win. The thing that people need to understand is when you win trophies, people don't mention DNA as much. People don't mention culture and identity as much. People don't mention attacking football and flair and blah, 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 because at the end of the year, you end up winning the trophy. So, like, if Liverpool, let's say, as an example, stink up the pitch every single game and win 1-0 from now on till the end of the Champions League and we win the Champions League, people are not going to go like, yeah, but he didn't do it our way or blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to Arsenal DNA, part of it is attacking football. So that's why Arteta is bringing that back. That's why now you have with the likes of Odegaard as a Saka, blah, blah, blah.
You think they see them?
They are actually entertaining to watch. Arsenal are entertaining to watch.
About this exactly.
Mo, you're absolutely spot on, mate. Only losers speak about this. That's just the facts.
He literally said, I would accept it.
I want to see LB.
We win the trophy. Bro, LB, he literally just said, if we win 1-0 and we win the trophy, nobody
Bro, if you bring me a manager after Pep that plays stinky football and wins me the league, I'll be buzzing.
But this is where football clubs are all different, and I think it's fair. For instance, with Arsenal, they were very successful. For instance, with like the Jules Graham-esque way of playing, which was quite negative, boring, 1-0 to the Arsenal. It's why they sing that song. And then Wenger came in and made them one of the best attacking, best footballing teams in the world. So you've got like a mixture of loads of people currently living that remember Wenger's football at its peak and remember George Graham's. The issue that you have for a football club, and it does evolve, is when you only have people alive that remember good, attacking, vibrant football being at its pomp at your football club. That becomes what you want. If you're a club that every 10 years kind of changes how it plays based on a manager, and you've got loads of people alive that have seen pragmatic football, possession football, counter-attack football, that is maybe not something as part of your club culture you care about. But maybe developing youth players still is, irrespective. Maybe always having, maybe you're a club that always wants to play with an out-and-out number 9 because it's the way you like to operate, irrespective of the style. Every club will have its elements, and some of it's a saying, some of it's a motto, but it means something to you. It's a funny thing about Arsenal. I only found out what they've got, like a motto, I think it's in Latin, that means success through unity. And I thought it was really interesting because the only time I ever see Arsenal do well is when the majority of their fan base is together, united, and pushing the team on. When they start warring each other, some the results don't seem to go so well. So maybe culture is a really important part of our teams. If we would stop using these buzzwords, these gimmicks would still be fun. Come on now, this is football conversation. It should be fun. It is fun. None of us four are sitting here. I'm speaking for all three of you now. Sorry, none of us are sitting here going, I want to get off of here, wankers. We're having a good time talking. It's part of it, man. It's not we're not fighting each other. When we won the treble, we were so boring, but guess we won the treble. No one complained but rivals. But if you are winning, people can accept things. They can accept things. But
which proves
City
most
have no DNA though.
No,
City
but
DNA is Pep DNA.
no.
With all due respect,
That proves
City
that proves
DNA is
most
Pep
point.
DNA. City
But
don't have a DNA.
But if City abandon everything that's made you successful, everything, you're not buying in the same way, you're not developing your youth in the same way, you're making less money, the professionalism falls away. Things that you look at and go, that element of our club and the culture and ethos is working. If you abandon all of it and you're not winning, you're not moaning just because you're losers. You're moaning because you've abandoned the things that made you winners. And you will talk about it as a club. You might not use the word DNA, but you will talk about it. It's the same as all the fans that do the, I never complain about refs until their team loses because of a ref, and then they complain about it. It happens to everybody. It will come. Hopefully, it will come for you lot. What is Spurs' DNA? Well, they do have one. Attacking football, but there we go. Moving on from the DNA conversation, because we were going to very quickly, LB, because we're on Manchester. What do you think is going to happen in the derby this week? How do you see it going, bro?
I mean, if we don't pan United, it's embarrassing, to be honest with you. Unleash Cherky is what I say. Got rested last night. Come on off the bench. Unleash him against United. Let him rinse them. Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll definitely win, man. We can't not win the game. Yeah, it's a derby, and we have to win for the title race anyway. So there's so much pressure on us to win the game. But I think we'll win, man. Use a trash. If we don't win, then we got problems, man.
What's he coming here, bro? Just like saying, tell you're trash.
They're trash, bro. They are trash, though, innit? You know they're trash, bro.
Is this, bro?
They got no DNA in it.
No, we do now. Carrick's back. We've got the DNA is back.
Oh yeah, you hired a manager that got sacked off Middlesbrough. Is that the right DNA?
Are you not a little bit like worried about the adrenaline rush that Man United players get when they play these big games, the Liverpool's game, the Arsenal's, the Man City's? They always do this. By the way, regardless of who manages the team, I've always seen Man United do this DNA, like adrenaline kick in them, and they go like. I wouldn't be so sure that it's a full-on conclusion for Man City, even though on paper, Man City are miles ahead of Manchester United on the football pitch. But also, like this particular game, for some whatever reason, Man United players just, they kind of go on and they fight for the game, to be honest with you. Especially, some players are hitting form. I think Cisco's hitting form. I think
if City's attack is on point, with Semenyo, again, I cannot believe Standard FC were doubting him. So many people that like follow the Standard FC model were like shit player. I couldn't believe it. With him, Haaland, Doku, Cherky, Foden loves a derby. If they're on point, we lose. If they're on point, they'll just outscore us. That's as simple as that. We will get chances to score against Man City, though, because everybody gets chances to score against Man City. We will catch them at least 3 or 4 times on the counter, minimum, and be in a good position. Whether we play the right final ball or score past Donnarumma is a different debate and conversation. If City's attack has a bad day, so if for whatever reason, it's a bit like Sunderland where they can't hit a barn door, then we have a chance of winning irrespective of who the manager is, because City's defense, typically speaking, is pregnable. You can get chances against them. So for me, even Exeter, who they slapped, still got in behind 4 or 5 times in the game. But I just think City's attack is going to be too strong for us, to be honest with you.
I want to unleash Semenyo again, by the way, because I think this is a player that a lot of people have underestimated. I wanted him at City, but I think even I've underestimated him a little bit. In front of goal, he's gonna score so many goals, man. You can just tell that. I've only watched him twice. I already know he's going to score a lot of goals for us. If you can unleash him, and get Cherky in the same team with Haaland, how do you stop that, man?
I actually think I was speaking about this the other day. Doku and Semenyo on either side, however you want to play him, like if Pep want to play him, it actually exposes the opposition, because they don't know which side is stronger, where the field is, like where the coverage is going to go, and it forces oppositions to drop an extra midfielder back, because you have to double on Doku and you have to double on Semenyo, and generally it will give a lot of space in the middle. And we saw it yesterday, even in the game, like where it was very obvious that they didn't want to leave Semenyo 1-on-1 and they didn't want to leave Doku 1-on-1, so they had to drop both midfielders to cover. Right, because you cannot have that many defenders on the pitch, right? So I think actually that gives Cherky a chance from the middle, but Foden has to be dropped.
It does
in that sense.
It does, but on a tactical level, I'm not saying United will exploit this. We're not good enough.
Maybe you should play 3 at the back.
But
you know what? You can counter that.
Yeah. But what it does mean, though, if they're both attacking, and yes, you can't double up on them both. It also means there's less support for their fullbacks as they're pushing forward, which is why they're susceptible to the counter attack. Which I think we saw yesterday. Newcastle were just poor in their execution. They should have capitalized upon it as an example. But yeah, I think United will get a few chances to score. I just can't see us keeping City out. I cannot see a world where we do it. If we concede first, we lose, typically speaking. I'd love Carrick to do it on his first game, because irrespective of the bad ownership, irrespective of all the conversations we've had today and all the weird shit, I mean, United fans crying now because they've just seen the picture of Gallagher holding a Tottenham shirt. I want Carrick to do well. I don't want him to fail. Look, I'm not worried that he got sacked at Middlesbrough. I'm just really not, in the sense of he's an interim manager. He's an interim. I get it. I think we're right to wait until the summer before trying to appoint someone else. We're talking about some really good coaches. We're talking about at the minute in terms of Nagelsmann, Luis Enrique, De Zerbi. These types of guys all are committed to current projects. They're not going to leave. There's no point spending 25 million getting some of these out of their contract for a season that's already sort of over. If they're confident they can land them, of course. On him losing at Middlesbrough, yeah, I reckon. I'm going to hedge a bet with you. I don't think any manager who's won the league in the last 4 or 5, 6, 7 years would have done it if every summer their club sold their best 2 or 3 players and didn't replace them with equally as good players. So I don't expect, I don't look at that too much. There are some things I'm worried about. He's a little stubborn. If his plan A isn't working, which works quite a lot, there hasn't been the adaptation. And I've read that a lot when he was the manager. So there are some things I'm concerned about, but for short-term fix, I'm just going to get fully behind him, support him, and hopefully he does a good job for him and the club.
I think United are going to get something against City.
I hope.
think United are going to get something against City. I think it might be the game might end in a draw or a United win, in my opinion. I don't think United are just going to lay down and basically let City, basically win the game. I think United will get something. I think it doesn't matter who's interim manager. It's never mattered who's interim manager, because it's basically on the players to just execute and show like what they're truly capable of. Players like Mainu now want to prove the previous manager is wrong, and etc. I disagree completely on Semenyo. I'm not excited by Semenyo at all. Even him scoring a goal, I'm not going like, oh my god. For the most part, Semenyo was nullified, because I don't think he's good against low blocks, in my opinion. I don't think he suits what what City need. City needs someone who's more of a playmaker. Someone who can create chances for Erling Haaland. I watched Semenyo yesterday, and for a lot of the game, he couldn't really.
Yeah, can I just interject here, because this is why, this is what I can't stand listening to, because I've had Jeremy Doku and Savio for the last 3 years and 18 months respectively break down low blocks, get crosses into the box, and between them, they've got 8 Premier League goals. Doku has 7 Premier League goals in 3 years.
I've never denied.
But that's what we need. That's what City need.
I disagree with you. I think
I'm sorry. I think you're absolutely ludicrous. If Semenyo plays that game against Sunderland, Manchester City win that game. If Semenyo played that game against Brighton, Manchester City win that game. Ask any City fan, and they say we need more goals from the wings. We have no goals from the wings, bro. None. Savio's got 1 Premier League goal in 18 months.
Semenyo yesterday, in terms of his creativity, it shows the type of player that he is. I did a deep dive into the statistics and the eye tests of Semenyo. Semenyo is a goal-scoring winger. Semenyo is not a playmaker. Semenyo is not someone who creates a high volume of chances or anything. Semenyo is a very good goal scorer. But if you're looking at Semenyo to create chances for Erling Haaland, I think you're looking down the wrong player.
No, I don't think that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So
we're looking for a goal-scoring winger.
If City are coming up against a low block of quality players who are good players, very good players, I don't think Semenyo necessarily will have an impact on the game, in my opinion, unless someone creates a chance for him that he scores. But
they have so many playmakers in. Like, this is what they were missing. Like,
how can you get all of them on the pitch though?
No, Doku is the best. Doku is the best in the league in like dribbling in like 5-10 yards and crossing in the box. Shirky, we know that Shirky can create a chance, right? Like,
okay, but you can't get Foden and Shirky and Rodri and all these guys.
We don't need them all.
One of them will be dropped. One of them will be dropped.
And that's what we need to do. We go back to having a big squad.
The thing that LB is missing is the goals that you're getting from the wings now are more because Semenyo is a very good goal scorer. But the issue is Haaland's goal might go down.
But I'd rather have a bit more of a spread than having it all on Haaland. Because if Haaland doesn't score, Doku's not scoring, and Savio's not scoring. So who the fuck scores?
I don't think Haaland's goals will drop, Sam, because Semenyo, they're still going to create the chances for him. They're still going to feed the ball into him. A lot of Semenyo's goals, when you actually look at them, he's the kind of guy that scores quite a few goals, but a lot of them are self-generated. So he'll score a lot of goals that Doku seems to miss, and Savio he doesn't miss. He hits people in the crowd, where he'll have the ball, tight angle, drop a shoulder, beat a man, get half the yard and shoot. Semenyo's good at scoring those goals. I'm not saying he's going to score 25 goals like that in a season. He'll score each year for City between 6 to 10 goals like that. So then, yes, he'll get goals at the back post like you saw yesterday, but that's also what they're missing. When a cross does come in for Haaland and maybe it's slightly overhit or doesn't fall to him or he doesn't get there in time, which happens to even the best, Semenyo's the kind of guy that's going to be coming in at that far post, which Semenyo and Doku don't do because they don't hunt goals in that same way. I think it is a fantastic. I hate saying it because it's City, but I'm as honest as I can be. It's a fantastic. I think it's a fantastic signing that suits the Manchester City DNA to a T.
I think Husam's coping, if I'm being genuinely honest.
Why am I coping?
Yeah, he's panicking.
I just think
if someone told you the exact same thing about Isak, if someone in the summer said, by the way, Isak is good at Newcastle because they play in space and stuff like this, we would call him crazy.
They were right. They were right, weren't they?
But the reality is, at the time, we haven't seen Semenyo play like 10 games and we say if he fails or succeeded, right? But Semenyo has the capacity.
About Semenyo in the summer, Mo.
No, but I hear what you said about Semenyo, but Bournemouth isn't a low block team. Bournemouth isn't a team that sit back all the time. Bournemouth isn't a West Ham.
Low blocks?
No, not usually.
Did they face low blocks?
Did Newcastle face low blocks?
So it's a different type of challenge.
Did Newcastle face low blocks?
And by the way, you're using the Isak thing. The thing is, the crazy part is, if anyone here were to say Isak has flopped so far at Liverpool, no one would disagree anyway.
But we're talking about that time. Me and you always talk about in the time. If someone told you at the time that
in hindsight in the summer, I remember when Semenyo was linked to Arsenal, I said if Arsenal
No. Talking about Isak now. Talk about Isak. Isak. If someone told you that Isak wouldn't work at Liverpool because Newcastle don't face low block, you'd call them crazy, and I would as well.
No, but there were people who did say that, and guess what?
We called them crazy.
Isak and Ekitike did have to adjust their game. Ekitike even posted about it on his Instagram. He posted a meme of him holding a book that says how to break down a low block. So, like, obviously, it's a different test. I think with Manchester City, they needed a different type of winger, in my opinion.
What type of winger you think we need?
For the most part, when they're facing low blocks, if someone creates a chance for Semenyo and he scores, I think it will be very good for them. But I don't necessarily think that Semenyo will be a success in Manchester City.
Well, what do you define as success then? What does Semenyo need to do?
I was going to ask the same question.
I think all City needed is someone like, in my opinion, City needed someone like a Bradley Barcola. They needed someone like of that ilk. They needed someone who can dribble, who can get past players, who can create spaces for Erling Haaland. And that's another part where I disagree.
You don't think Semenyo can get past players?
I think he gets past players with his athleticism. But when this another thing as well, because when you're breaking down, no, but it's true. I've said
it now matters how you get past players. Apparently.
By the way, this is not like before anyone says anything. I didn't want him at Liverpool. When he was linked to Liverpool, I said I don't want to sign him.
Okay, no, that's cool.
So I'm not with Semenyo when he's getting past players. The reason why I brought up the athleticism part as LB is if you're counter-attacking someone, he's very good to get past players using his pace and his power. But when you're looking at him breaking down a low block, like let's say you're facing Man United, right, this Saturday. Let's say Man United play defensive football. If Semenyo has a left back and a left center back defending him, he's not the type to get past them. You get me?
How
Because
does Doku get past players as well?
Because Doku is very good against slow blocks. Because Doku is the best dribbling winger in the whole league.
How does he get past players?
It's
How does he
athleticism.
get past players? By
It's not
dribbling
break-
skill.
Yeah, but it's athleticism. Like Doku. There's a few good skills, but it isn't step overs and drag backs and cut. I don't know the names of these skills. It is.
Doku is not step overs and drag back.
It's drop the shoulder. By the way, it is dribbling. It is dribbling. But there is hang on. But there's a difference between Doku's dribbling and Eden
Riyad
Hazard's
Mahrez
dribbling.
and Riyad Mahrez.
Or Mahrez. Yeah. There is a difference. There is a difference. A lot of it is if you took the speed away from it's not even the speed, it's that explosive power Doku has. That first 2 or 3, he can get past anyone. It's amazing. But it is a physical attribute rather than technical.
We'll go back to the question that I asked Husam, but he didn't answer them.
Yeah.
Husam, answer
Yeah,
the
he didn't
question.
answer. Go on.
Answer the question, because me and Mo both wanted you to answer this. What do you define then as success? Because you said you don't think he's going to succeed. Well, so what would you say is success for Semenyo at City?
I think Semenyo will score goals, but I don't think he will impact the games that City need him to impact. Like, I don't think City, when you're coming up against very good teams that are in low blocks, I don't think you necessarily impact that.
Okay, so he's already impacted one game, semi-final Carabao Cup.
Created for him. I don't necessarily think he'll create chances for Erling Haaland. I don't think he'll be like this chance-creating machine.
Okay.
You're going to have others around him create, basically.
Saying that the day after he scored in a semi-final is kind of crazy.
No, it's not kind of crazy because I watched the game.
Two.
You're the same person. You're the same person that if I ask you Salah or Mahrez, you'll say Mahrez because I watch football with my eyes. Well, guess what, brother? Reverse.
But wait a second. I never said Salah's
Just
failed
because
at Liverpool.
Semenyo scored the goal does not mean that he had a good game.
Comparing that is a
logic.
terrible comparison. Salah's succeeded at Liverpool because he scored a load of goals.
I know Salah succeeded. Now
you're saying you don't think he's going to impact games the day after he scored against Newcastle away in a semi-final and only his second game for the club.
Darwin Núñez scored in his debut and his Premier League debut and his competitive debut, and I said
he scored in a semi-final. He
scored. Actually, he scored at Wembley against Manchester City.
The pre-season curtain raiser.
It doesn't matter. He scored in his debut.
He took his top off to celebrate a goal at the Community Shield.
Yeah, but he scored in his debut, and then he scored in his Premier League debut away at Craven Cottage. And I still said Darwin Núñez sucks and he's gonna fail.
So the guy doesn't impact games, but he scored in a semi-final.
You're not even listening to the explanation because you're.
I've listened to it, and you said he's not impact games.
You're mad. You're just mad for no reason. I said Antoine Semenyo will not help City break down a low block. Semenyo will score goals, but he's not the type of player to get past 2 players and put in a cross for Haaland to score. That's
okay.
It.
Could he score goals against a low block?
Yes, he can, but then you'd need others to create.
Like Cherki, which we have.
Yes, but you cannot put them all on the pitch at the same time.
Why not?
But Cherki can play on the pitch with Semenyo
like
at the same time.
Cherki, Foden all on the pitch at the same time, and Rodri and Semenyo and Doku.
Why do you need to have every single one of them on the pitch at the same time?
Yes, but you need Doku, in my opinion, because he's a much better dribbler than Semenyo. Doku is the most skilled dribbler in the whole league.
We have to play, but Doku plays on the other side, so what's the problem?
Yeah, I know. I'm saying we can't get them all on the pitch at the same time.
Okay, but we couldn't get Mahrez, Alvarez, Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, all these players on the pitch at the same time when we won the treble.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to bench players.
What's your point?
You're making it out like this. It can only work if we play every single attacking player in the squad.
Yeah, but that's that season when you're talking about the creators around. All of the players that you had around Erling Haaland were creators, which is why he scored so many goals and which is why you ended up in winning the treble. That's why I even said this yesterday, by the way. I don't like when you look at distribution, I think there always should be a big difference between the guy who's the top goal scorer and the guy who's the second goal scorer. Like, I think there must be a considerable difference, which now, anyway, Semenyo joined you mid-season, so it's not like he can catch up. But, yeah.
I think you massively, massively underestimate how badly we needed goals from the wings. Massively.
Fair enough.
This year says Sam, when City played the low mid-block against Sunderland, Chelsea and Brighton, they dropped points. They didn't kill the games when they had chances. Creating chances was not the problem in those games.
The problem is you're adding to the equation, but you're not subtracting from the equation. So you're just putting Semenyo on the pitch. Okay, so Semenyo comes on the pitch. Who comes off it then? Cherki comes off it.
Savio.
I have less creativity.
Savio.
But you're using Savio as an example. So you're telling me that Pep Guardiola is going to play Doku, Foden, Cherki, Semenyo all in the same lineup?
No one said that.
No.
Yeah, there you go then. So that's my point.
Hussam, there's this one thing though. So why weren't you criticizing Liverpool signings, new signings, attacking? They can't all. They don't all play at the same time. But yet it's called a bench. 5 substitutions are allowed. Rotation is needed over the course of a season. The idea is honestly, Sam, I love you, bro. But the idea that because you can't
Sharky, Foden, Savio, and Haaland, and we're all on the pitch at the same time.
Right.
Now he's saying remove Savio. Okay, but then you've got Doku down the other side. You need.
Well, Doku didn't play against Sunderland because he needed.
I know he
needed a rest.
The easy answer is just to go like remove Savio. But I'm saying, can we get Foden, Sharky, one of Doku and Savio, and Semenyo on the pitch at the same time?
Why? Why do we need to put them all on the pitch at the same
you're
time?
Talking about the creativity.
You don't have to start the game with them all on at the same time.
You can't start them for 70 matches a season, Husam. You need to rotate the players.
That's not what
if Semenyo played instead of Savio against Sunderland, we would have won that game.
Semenyo on against Sunderland, and the whole game is different. I'm saying in order to put Semenyo on, I've got to take someone off. I think Savio. I can play Semenyo with Foden and Sharky and Doku all of the pitch at the same time? No, that's it. Very simple.
But we're not allowed to bench, apparently.
Hang on a minute. So
I never said you're not allowed to bench.
So hang on. So just because you can't have
Semenyo's going to score 300 goals, he'll be a success. We should all agree.
Hang on. So just because
we'll wait 10, 15 games from now. We'll come back when it's the popular opinion.
So just because you can't have them all on the pitch at exactly the same time doesn't mean he won't be a success. Man United, 1999, had 4 strikers who were all massively successful at the club, but rarely were all 4 of them on the pitch at the same time. I can't get this. I don't get it. This is a city agenda, if ever I've heard one. Do me a favor, please, viewers. Like the stream if you haven't done so already. Closing in on 500 likes. Let's push this to at least 750 whilst we're live on the air. I know you're all loving the show. Obviously, boys, a big game tonight. Semi-final. Arsenal go to Stamford Bridge. Semi-final's not a big game of football.
As Chelsea fans bro, I've not had one Chelsea fan tell me they have hope. One. How is it? Like, we think it's a big game. I've not had one Chelsea fan. We were, all of us, me, you, Terry, Sam, LB, we work with a lot of Chelsea fans. Everyone I talk to, they're like, well...
I was on the phone to, you all know Anita, right? Chelsea fan Anita.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with Anita a couple of hours ago, and we had a call for about half an hour, and I ended it, and I just said, looking forward to the game tonight. And she just basically went, fuck that game.
Exactly my point. How am I supposed to sit here?
But it's a big game still, though, isn't it? It's a semi-final, and I want to give you some context. Arsenal have lost their last 4 semi-final. They're all 2-legged games. They lost their last 4 semi-finals. Chelsea, Liam Rosenior's in. They need an element of a bounce of some sort here. It is a big game, isn't it? In terms of the need for both to win.
It is a big game. Mo's just doing a madness. It's a massive game. Chelsea are probably going into this game difficult to win with the injuries that they've got and suspensions of Caicedo. So they just need to, if they get a 0-0, it's not ideal because they've got to go to the Emirates, but it's tough. It's tough for Chelsea tonight because of the injury situation. But to say it's not a big game is crazy, bro.
What has happened to football when we have Chelsea saying we get a 0-0 at home trying to go to the Emirates? What have they reduced Chelsea to?
Nothing's happened to football. What's happened
Something happened to Chelsea.
They've got an injury crisis and they've got suspension to Caicedo.
Arsenal also don't have Saliba. Arsenal have injuries this game, man.
They've got about 20 defenders, bro.
They have defenders.
Oh, I told you yesterday on the show, before a ball is kicked, put the fries in the bag. It's going to be an Arsenal City final. I said it. And it's going to happen.
Yeah, most people predict that, but to say it's not a big game just because everyone predicts
it's a big game, but the problem
Chelsea
is
fans.
LB, you suffered from this the whole
season. Okay, let's just not speak about this game, innit? Just because it's pointless. Terry, let's move on to the next subject,
you suffered from this.
Let's just move on to the next subject. There's no point in speaking about it because Arsenal will win. So what's the point?
LB. That's the point. Chelsea fans are a bunch of pussies because every time you have this conversation, they're like,
Chelsea fans are not playing the fucking football match, Husam. It's 11 players.
With Matisse in charge.
Everybody expected Arsenal to win when they went to Stamford Bridge, and Arsenal Chelsea would have better team with 10 men.
What's your point? Tell me. With Maresca, not in Matisse.
My point is just to sit here and say it's not an important game. It's not a big game. Like, why
It is a big game. It was a slight
It's a big
joke.
game.
Yeah, but
It's
Sam's
a
trying to make
game.
out like fucking Arsenal going to slap
It's
them
a
up and that.
slight
It's just
joke.
pointless.
It's a
Yes,
London
that's what I'm
derby. It's a London derby, and all of this stuff.
Yeah, but then you
Derby.
also said,
Derby.
well, where's football come to now?
Derby County.
Chelsea
Derby
have got an
County.
injury crisis. They've got suspension. Chelsea just needs to shit out a result tonight and just take it to the second leg.
Who have Chelsea got out? Who scored? Are only showing Lavia, Colwell, and Caicedo out.
They've got 50-50.
Caicedo backing the right.
Oh, okay, okay.
50-50. Palmer
I-
50-50. Cucurella
Palmer
50-50.
50-50. Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
Palmer makes the difference. He
I'm
scored
quite
3 goals.
excited. I'm quite excited about it. If I'm being honest with you, I'm
I
really
am.
excited about this
wasn't.
game because I'm so intrigued to see what Liam. Look, I think Arsenal, City, and Chelsea all did a very good job in the FA Cup sort of third round games. But with Liam Rosenior, it remains to be seen whether or not he's going to have a positive impact, get a bounce, make them a better side. And that's not. I'm not digging him out. I just don't know enough about him. So I'm really excited to see what improvements he is implementing. Are there different nuances to the system? Will he get more out of the sort of the laps and stuff of this world? So I'm really excited about
Can I
it.
ask a
Equally
question,
for-
guys? about
I love
this?
how you're
Can I- can I-
excited. I
can
think
I-
the whole tie ends tonight.
Can I
By
ask a
tonight, the whole
question to
tie ends.
LB, because I asked 2 City fans. LB, who would you rather face in a one-game final at Wembley, Arsenal or Chelsea? Assuming that Chelsea will have Caicedo and everyone fit.
Probably Arsenal.
Oh, that's a good question.
I'll throw a little thing in it.
Arsenal.
Hang on. I want to throw this.
Wait a sec. I think Arsenal, I think on the day, Chelsea are more dangerous in terms of scoring goals against me.
Okay.
But I think Arsenal could long it out and then just score off a set piece. You get me? And
Okay.
stop us because their defense is excellent. So I don't
Okay.
know. I think it's tricky, man. It's a
Do you
tricky.
know
It's a that's why I asked the question because
Do you
I
know-
don't
do you know
know
what?
the-
Yeah, I don't think it's straightforward. I think
you know what?
if Chelsea
Sorry.
turn up with a full
Can I
fit
tell you why I
squad,
think it's straightforward? Chelsea have a horrendous record at Wembley.
Well, I was about to say that. I think that's
Horrendous
Chelsea.
record.
Chelsea have got this. So when it comes to Europe, I wouldn't want to play Chelsea in a European final. But I think they've lost something like their last 6, 7, 8 finals at
They
Wembley.
lost 4
Well, I
finals
don't.
lost in a
I
row.
don't remember the
They
last
lost
time.
Leicester with
Hang on.
-2.
I don't remember the last time, and the viewers can tell us. When was the last time Arsenal lost a final at Wembley? You're probably going back over 10
Man
years.
City.
When
Man
the
City.
last time they played at Wembley?
Man
Yeah, but they
City
don't-
Carabao
Yeah, but they
Cup final.
don't lose there very often. Arsenal. I think they've got a very good Wembley record. Just putting
This,
it out there.
this group hasn't played at Wembley apart from the
Yeah,
final in 2020. Am I wrong? It's only the 2020?
Yeah, and the Community
Final?
Shield.
Well,
Yeah,
but-
we're not going to count the
You
Community
actually
Shield.
played at Wembley. That's it. So I answered it.
Yeah, okay, but the Community Shields are like, okay, whatever.
Interesting
But,
one.
Chelsea lost
But-
3 finals to Liverpool in a row. They lost a final to Leicester.
yeah, but
FA
isn't
Cup
2
win.
of them by penalties, though? Isn't 2 of them by penalties?
Yeah, but
Didn't
it's
you
in
lose
your
2 of
mind.
them by
But that's still
penalties?
bad record.
Maybe. So Mo, you've asked the question. Who do you think the harder opponent is?
Arsenal for sure.
Arsenal
Because
100% for me.
Arsenal for me, if I'm a Chelsea City fan, I would rather play. Bro, Man City peppered Chelsea in the game that we just played.
Like-
They peppered the shit out of them. It could
Nah,
have
to
been
be
4-0.
fair, no. To be fair, it's. I would rather play Chelsea in it, but
Thank you.
Chelsea.
Thank you so much
For
for
me, I'd be
coming.
more scared
Thank you.
about conceding off an open play though against Chelsea. 100%.
Bro, but
I could
Chelsea
get at
attack,
them.
Chelsea attack
I
is
could get at
whack.
them.
Chelsea attack
Yeah.
is whack.
Yeah, but I said though, I said on Chelsea, if their players are in form and fully fit, aka Palmer. At the moment, Palmer's
Palmer,
not fully
yeah, that
fit
one,
and he's
one.
not firing. So that's where I'm at
Oh,
with
yeah.
it.
There's
I
not a
hear
lot.
that.
There is not a
I
lot.
wanna-
Go ahead, Peter.
I want to go back a second because Sam, you said something a minute ago that the tie will end tonight. Unpack
Yeah.
that for us.
I think by today, Arsenal will win this game by 2+ goals. I think it'll be 3-1 Arsenal or 2-0 Arsenal, and it'll be all over. I think the moment from when the draw was made,
both Chelsea and Newcastle were doomed because the second leg is at the Emirates and the second leg is at the Etihad. So Newcastle were never going to beat City and Arsenal were never going to lose to Chelsea. So even if Chelsea win 1-0 today, they're going to get knocked out anyway. So I'm looking at this game before a ball was kicked, and I said it's going to be Arsenal City in the final. So
I kind of disagree with him a little bit about this.
Okay, you can disagree, but let me finish first and then disagree after.
Yeah,
can I finish?
Go ahead.
Can I finish? And then you can disagree.
Finish your
Thank
point.
you very much. Anyway, Liam Rossanier has been thrown into the deep end here. Just like, myself and Mo have been consistent about this. It's not just the manager's fault at Chelsea for the last fucking 3 years. We've been saying the same thing on every stream. So did LB this summer. And then the Chelsea fans call him a weirdo and shit, start insulting him just because he's stating facts about their dead institution. At the end of the day, Liam Rossanier has been thrown into the deep end. He's a Strasbourg manager. He went from Strasbourg to managing Chelsea. He has to manage against Mikel Arteta today, who is levels above him in terms of his CV, his managerial abilities, where he's at right now in the food chain of managers in world football. I think this is too big of a test. I don't think Liam Rossanier will win over the Chelsea dressing room. And my prediction, which I stick by, I think Liam Rossanier might end up getting the Ange thing, which is basically sacked within 2 months. That's my prediction. I know there's a clause in the Chelsea contract for it, which is basically like, we can sack you without paying you type clause or whatever it is, like some form of release clause. But tonight, I think it's just such a big test. And they don't have Caicedo on top of all this, which you need a tackler against Arsenal. Very important to have a tackler against Arsenal. So they don't have a tackler against Arsenal, so Caicedo's out. Cole Palmer is not in good form. What Mo's mentioned about the forwards is true as well. The forwards has just been so dead and so shit for Chelsea too, So the only thing that, you look at Chelsea, they've got one elite world-class player in Reece James, and the rest is just this season, to be honest with you. So
no, Husam's cooking, to be fair.
Yeah, I just would it shock me today if Arsenal win 2-0 and the tie is over? Absolutely not.
It wouldn't.
Guys, there is not enough talk about Cole Palmer, right? There is not enough talk in the
Yes, talk about that.
I like the guy. I think he's so talented and everything, but being talented is not enough these days. You can be as talented as they get, right? As long as you, but if you don't deliver, people will talk. Look, Wirtz is so fucking talented, right? But he's not delivering, right? For Liverpool, and people don't talk. Cole Palmer has had a fantastic season, a world-class season, and then last season he fell off. He played okay, and then this season, Cole Palmer has been back for like 7 games, guys. 7 games back. And nobody is mentioning that Cole Palmer is being average on the pitch. He's not having the... Every time I speak about it, LB, people come back and say, but he's come back from injury. How long is this going to go for? 7 games now. He's come back from injury. He's came back like in November. Like this, we're January, bro. Early December.
No, he does need to do more. He does need to do more, man.
Bro, literally, it's a preseason thing for Isak in December. When Liverpool fans talk about preseason. I like Cole Palmer. I think he's so talented. As of now, and I'm going to say it, Cole Palmer is a 1-season wonder. As of today.
No, 1.5 season wonder. I told you.
Like, as of today, Cole Palmer has had a magnificent... And it's not a dick. I like Cole Palmer. I actually think that Cole Palmer is so talented. I genuinely believe he's a victim of the Chelsea system and the Chelsea ownership and the club, how it's run. Right? Because if Cole Palmer was playing for Pep, if Cole Palmer went to play for Barcelona ahead of Pedri and De Jong, we would be talking about one of the best players in the world, in my opinion, because he has the talent, he has the vision, he has everything. And the problem is he looks up and he freaking sees Garnacho getting Neto running like a headless chicken up top and Delap trying to fight people. That's what is going on, bro. The guy looks up and he's already frustrated before he makes the pass. Like, really? Like, imagine if this guy is playing with Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland would already be on like 25 goals or something with the movement and all the stuff. Like, bro, I think if Chelsea... Liam Delap, bro. Have you seen Joao Pedro's movement as a striker?
Well, he's not a striker.
It's Neto, bro. Neto doesn't even look.
That's what the thing is, though. This is what Husam was saying. They have a few decent players, and then the rest of them are just mid players, bro. And we tell Chelsea fans in the summer, do you remember, Terry, when I said they'd finish 15 points off the title, and I got fucking cooked off the fans in the chat? They're all sending in big super chats. Where are the super chats now, boys? Don't see the
send the money, mate.
Come on, send in the super chats, lad. You were sending them in the summer, cooking me. Come on, man. Where the super chats at? Yeah, no, you've all gone quiet because you've realised, bro, that a lot of the players in that squad are dead. That's the truth, man.
But you know, LB, this is gonna be
for a 90-minute game and get a result, which is what they did against Arsenal a couple of weeks ago, and they potentially could do it tonight. I believe, if I was to make a prediction, I think Arsenal will win the game tonight.
Thank you.
But if they did get a result, I wouldn't be mad shocked.
But you know, LB was talking about this. I know that the scapegoating thing. This was going to happen. After 20 games in the Premier League, Chelsea are already 17 points behind the league leaders. That means they are in the trajectory of finishing more than 25 points, not 15 points from whoever is going to win the league. But I know the answer at the end of the season, but we changed managers.
And we signed Garnacho.
We changed the manager. You know what?
I hear that. I want to ask a question about Arsenal on this though as well, because how important is it that they got to win this trophy for me? I feel like and let me rephrase it. If they don't win this trophy, but they win the league, people will be less bothered. But I feel that getting past this semi-final and winning this trophy is very important for them, and
I agree.
It could be the catalyst to winning more this campaign, because I think it takes a monkey off Arteta's back. It takes, whenever you have a conversation, you hear it in the media, you hear it on fan channels, panel shows like this, you always hear, yeah, the football's good, but where's the trophies? Yeah, this is good, but where's the trophies? Okay, that's great, but where's the trophies? I feel that if they win this semi-final, go on to win the campaign, win this League Cup campaign, they have 2 months left. They probably will still be top of the league at that point. I just think it will help galvanize them, but equally it just gets that kind of voice at the back of their heads. Can we win trophies? It kind of removes it. I think it's really important.
There's another element as well, brother. There's an even bigger element that no one here has mentioned, but I will mention it because I will be the asshole on the panel. So, Carabao Cup, grand scheme of things, doesn't matter. Grand scheme of things, if Arsenal lose the Carabao Cup, in my opinion, no one should be Arteta out. Arteta out should be at the end of the season. You don't win the league or the Champions League. However, the other side of the semi-final includes a club called Manchester City. Now, Manchester City are your direct league competition. Here's the problem now from a mental element that is very important for this final. Arsenal face Manchester City in the Carabao Cup final. That's my prediction. That's what I think will happen. Now, if City win that final, Arsenal players might be thinking, fucking hell, we can't get one over these. Like, they really just beat us every single time we need to. If Arsenal win against Manchester City, they'll go like, finally, we've got one over these guys. And that will give them that element of push. Because of who the opponent is, it matters even more. I am not the biggest, thank you, Mo. I'm not the biggest fan of the Carabao Cup. But if we played Man United at Wembley, that game becomes like the Champions League final. You have to win. So for me, because it's against the direct title opponents, it's unbelievably more important to win. Because if Mikel Arteta takes on Pep Guardiola at Wembley and beats him at Wembley, the mental boost that the Arsenal players will get is unreal. And in reverse, if the City beat Arsenal at Wembley, it will give the City players a mental boost, the ones that haven't won a trophy.
Husam, this happened years ago, by the way. Do you remember the year? Which year did the Queen die, man? And the Premier League game got
2020, 22, 23.
Right. So basically, that year the Premier League game got rearranged, and Arsenal was like 6-7 points clear of us in the league, whatever. And then we played them in the FA Cup. Right, and we'd not played Arsenal at this point because the game got rearranged, and they come to the Etihad and we beat them in the FA Cup. I think it was like the 3rd round or whatever. And I'm telling you now, every City fan that day went, "We'll catch these," and that's going back to what Husam's saying. Like, it probably will be a City Arsenal final. If City beat Arsenal, so long as we're still in the race, and obviously there's 2 months until the final, we might not be in the race by then. If we're still in the race. And we beat them in the final, that'll galvanise City and dent their hopes. It's a double whammy. So I'm with Husam, man. Arsenal need to win this 100%, especially if they play City in the final, which is likely.
Yeah, I think you make a great point. I do think that there is the comment about the manager getting over the line as well. It's there, and as much as football players will say they ignore social media, managers say they don't read it, we all know they do. We all know they do, because we see them push back and bite back. Even Pep yesterday saying, I did win a trophy last year. I won the Community Shield. I love it when Pep says it. No one moans. Jose said it. The world went crazy, but there we go. That's another conversation. I agree with you 100%, LB. And so I think it's really important they win this tournament. I think it will just, for them to go on and win the league and stop City, which I want them to do, because just City winning another Premier League makes me sad and really upsets me. I think it's huge. And I think it also takes a bit of pressure off them. I think it takes pressure off their FA Cup games. I think it just relieves a little bit of the tension that might make them relax. I know we didn't do it in the same season, but I remember 06, we won the League Cup final against Wigan, and that sort of new United team that Fergie had been building for 2 or 3 years, it just kind of, they knew they could win trophies like their predecessors, if that made sense. Won the league the following year. Chelsea with Jose, they had a brilliant season in 04-05. But most Chelsea fans, players, and the manager always go back to that League Cup success, and it gave them that extra bit of belief in the second half of the season. So, yeah, I think it's a real important game for Arsenal tonight, and it shouldn't be underplayed. And some news on that, by the way, just come out now from the hand of Arsenal. Saliba and Trossard are both included in the matchday squad for tonight's game, so they are both past fit, and they are not out.
They don't need the Mosquera and Norgard. Then you beat Chelsea.
Agree. They don't need a full squad, Arsenal, to win. And even if they draw tonight, they'll, that's not even a terrible result for Arsenal. They can beat them in the home leg. But they just need to win a fucking trophy, man. You know what I mean? This is a team that everyone gasses up, and they've not won out for like 6 years. So just win a trophy, innit? And then everyone will stop talking.
Actually,
No,
LB,
I
that
don't
last
think
statement is
so.
not true. Because them winning the Carabao Cup won't stop me from talking, or you from talking, or anyone from talking. You know what stops everyone from talking? Premier League champions will stop us from talking, not Carabao Cup champions, with all due respect. The only reason why I think it has heightened importance, it's because against Man City. That's it. If they were facing fucking, like, even us in the final, and we beat them at Wembley, I'm not going to go like...
It would be go and win the league then. Go and win the league. It would be go and win the league.
So wait a sec, though. Husam, you almost saying that this is a pointless game, the pointless trophy then for Arsenal?
No, because it's Man
Because it's Man City, it has a point, 100%.
But if they win the Carabao Cup and they lose the league...
It's just absolute shit.
It's absolute. Arteta should go 100% then.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, bro, I stick, brother. The quadruple charge season, Terry will tell you this, even Hamza will tell you this. As soon as we lost the Champions League final, I said the season's a failure immediately. With all due respect, you don't have the best players in the world.
If they win a cup double, LB, if they win a cup double and they don't win the league or the Champions League,
it's a failure.
Cup double? You're telling me if they win a cup double?
I disagree. Listen,
I said it about my own club.
Hang on.
I said it about my own club.
Yeah, okay, but that's your club. People will push an agenda against Arsenal, even if they win 2 or 3 trophies. It will be 900 million, 1 league in 6 years. There's always going to be an agenda from certain people. Let them crack on. For me, though, I feel like every trophy you add is important. So I look at like Klopp's legacy. The last couple of years, you won a couple of domestic trophies. Yes, he won the league, and yes, he won the Champions League. Those domestic trophies at the end, they help to pad out your achievements in the right way. Picking up a League Cup, picking up an FA Cup, winning the league, doing that. I mean, they're capable this year, Arsenal, of doing a domestic treble. They genuinely are. They should be aiming to do it because that's a different level of achievement. Like, they should be aiming to do something like that. They've got a very, very good squad. And they're just, barring City, because cup games are different, they're just better than everybody else. And they should
never
be aiming.
said otherwise, Terry. But we never said otherwise.
But they should be
you guys
aiming
are
for
saying that if he wins a cup double, that's not a good season.
And he loses the league of the Champions League? No, I don't think
it is a good season. It's a good season.
You're off
it's a good season.
No, we're not.
I hold Arsenal to a bigger standard than you.
Cup double. And you're saying that's not a good season?
No, it's not. For Arsenal, no.
For Arsenal, no.
For you,
Bro,
yes.
Okay,
hold on. For City, yes. For you, under Pep Guardiola, after winning 4 league titles and a treble just 3 years ago, and all these trophies that you won, a cup double for you would be like,
nothing, by the way. This team's done nothing in the last 6 years, and these guys are trying to tell me
and that's why, LB. And that's why.
They've gone from winning nothing in 6 years.
They are 6 points ahead. Game week 21.
In 1 year, and you're telling me that's a bad season.
LB, they're 21 games in. They are top of the league with 6 points difference. Haven't played the hardest part of their league already done. They play the majority of the teams at home. They are top of the Champions League. I'm not saying Arsenal should win the Champions League or anything, right? I'm just saying, if Arsenal win a cup double and City go on from behind and win the damn league, Arsenal will be like, what the fuck?
No,
and also LB, I want to
no. Wait a second. That's not the same. They can still be disappointed.
Let me give you an analogy. Let me give you an analogy.
Season when they win 2 trophies is crazy.
100% because
let me
give
you an analogy. You bringing up the 6-year thing actually makes me and Mo's argument even stronger. I'll give you an example. If I send you and Mo hunting in the forest, I give you both weapons and I go ahead and hunt in the forest. If Mo comes back after 3 days, so he doesn't take that long. He comes back after 3 days. He's got 2 deer and 2 rabbits. Fair enough. But if you're there for 2 weeks, you better be coming back with a big-ass buffalo because you took so long. So when I'm looking at Arsenal, because it's been so long, I'm sorry. If you win the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, we're going to go like, you did all this just to win the Carabao Cup and FA Cup anyway, which you did in season 1. You have to be winning some of the big stuff now.
So you're disrespecting for me what you're doing there. This is also why certain cup competitions are losing their vim, because fans are being indoctrinated to playing down how important they are. Now, I agree that winning trophies isn't everything in football, because if they won both trophies but came 8th in the league and were nowhere near the title race, different conversation. But if they do not win the league this year, they're only going to miss out narrowly. They're going to go deep into the Champions League. I think if you're winning domestic trophies and close to winning leagues and Champions Leagues, you don't even need to change much because you're almost there. You just keep adding quality and you keep going. And you're going to get over the line at some point. It's not a bad season. It's an indicator they can get over the line in some competitions and need to improve elsewhere. For me, I just don't see that as a bad season. If they finish 6th this year and won 2 trophies, it's more of a debate, because after 6 years at a club, £1 billion of investment, being in title races,
bro.
Facts, bro.
They're not going to finish.
Not extreme example. Because okay.
And then LG will sit with every Arsenal fan
and
second.
I'll mute my mic after one sentence. Let me just say one sentence. Why do we go so extreme? Like, oh, if they finish 6th, but they're not going to finish 6th.
Because I'm making a point. So I'll make you another example. If they finish 2nd, but are 25 points off the top, and won 2 domestic trophies after all this time, that is a different debate to maybe missing out in a very tight title race, which people like me all year have not said at any point is over and done, marginal favourites, but also winning 2 domestic trophies and a good Champions League run. I don't look at that as a terrible or a bad or a horrible season. If, though, they are that far behind the top, then you look at it and go, you're nowhere near a top. It's why Man United fans, after Jose came 2nd to City, Centurions, but we were 25 points off the top, we were concerned. Went out the Champions League with a whimper, didn't win any of the domestic trophies, lost the final.
So
that frustrated us.
No,
it's not an extreme.
Arsenal are not going to finish 25 points behind City.
But hang on, exactly, which is why it's not a bad season. I'm telling you what I would consider a bad season. I look at it this way generally in football. If you are in close title races, there is very little need to change your manager or have a complete reset at your football club, because you are up there with some of the best. There is an argument if you can't get over the line and win trophies, you might need to change them. But if you start winning trophies and you're still that close to the very top, you are in a very good place. You're not having bad seasons. Could they get better? Yes, but they're not bad seasons. That's the point. I'm giving you examples of what winning a trophy would look like alongside a league finish that I would consider a bad season, just to give you some context to my point. It's not an extreme example. They're actually real life examples that have happened where teams have won trophies but finished outside the top 4. Correct. Or United were 2nd in the league, but we were so far off the top, no one gave a shit. So that for me is really important.
I need to ask you, I need to do a couple of things. Number one, LB, you're not allowed to tell Arsenal fans, but you come 2nd every year again. You're not. Maybe Terry don't say that.
Why?
You're
not. I'm not allowed to have banter with fans.
Now I'm not allowed to have banter. You fucking ginger fraud.
But if Arsenal didn't win the league, I would still cook Arsenal.
You're the biggest fraud on the football terrace now.
See, Terry,
look at you.
But I'd still cook Arsenal fans.
If Arsenal win the domestic double, it's so successful.
I told you.
Bro, it's a good season for Arsenal. If Arsenal Football Club win the double, it's a good season. If I win the league, I'm still going to cook them. If Arsenal win the league and don't win the Champions League, I'm still going to say, worry UCL.
Mister.
What?
They've had a successful season, according to you.
They have had a successful season if they win 2 trophies.
Okay, mate.
But if they don't win the league, everyone's still going to cook them, but it's still a successful season.
Before,
But
guys,
that's my point, guys.
Okay.
That's my
If they
point.
win the
That's
Premier
why
League, if they win the Premier League,
insane.
people, if they win the
I
Premier
made
League,
my
people are
point.
still going to judge. Well, if they win the Premier League, people are going to say you've still never won a Champions League. People are so then is that a bad season because they've still
That's
not
it,
won a
that's it.
Champions
You
League?
know that me and
In
you know
over
that that's
100
idiotic,
years of
right?
this football club existing, they've still never won a Champions League.
But you know
Yeah,
that the
yeah,
league
yeah,
and
yeah.
the Champions League are the pinnacle. My point about this, but just the point to Terry, just quickly, you can go so far with saying I am challenging, I'm challenging, I'm challenging. You can go so far with saying this, especially for the league or the Champions League. The Champions League is very hard, it's very tough. That's why it's the pinnacle of football. But in the league, you cannot be second, and grab cups every season. Like if Arsenal in the next 5 years come second every year and win a domestic trophy every year, I'm still consider that a failure. For me, for big clubs.
Whoa. That's not fucking happened, bro. Don't start chatting about something that's going on in 2, 3, 4 years. We're talking about a football team that has not won a trophy for 6 years, and you're trying to tell me if they go from winning nothing year after year to suddenly winning a cup double and finishing second, you're telling me that's a bad season?
For me, yes, because
if they win a cup double this year, they win a Carabao next year, they win an FA Cup the year after that, then at some point you start to look at it and go, Fairs, this is actually like we need to progress on from this. This we need to evolve. But from going from a team that's won nothing for over half a decade to winning a cup double, and you're going to go now.
So for me, because they are past that point with the 6 years under the same manager of 5 years.
Point when they won fucking nothing, bro.
I explained this plenty of times.
They've won nothing.
He's just trying to be edgy. He's just trying to be edgy.
How am I being edgy? They've won nothing for half a decade, and you're trying to tell me that
right now, okay, great. They
They
won nothing for half a decade. Arsenal are currently in a build-up moment. Arsenal have been training for the Olympics for the last 5 years. Them winning the London Cup for running does not make them successful. Them winning the Olympics or the World Cup makes them successful because there is levels to this game. Meaning, when Usain Bolt beat all the Jamaican runners, that's what we expect. No one gives a fuck. No one mentions it. Usain Bolt is expected to win the World Cup and expected to win the Olympics. Right now, Arsenal are in a position where they've built up their squad for so long that I'm expecting them to win 2 of the biggest trophies. They've got to win either the Premier League or the Champions League for me to say success.
Okay, I understand. I understand your premise. For me, though, if he was to win that domestic treble, we're working in domestic double of the cups. In the last 5 years, so since he's been a manager, so from the end of the 2020 season until now, he'd be the joint with Pep as the most successful manager in England in terms of picking up domestic trophies. They both have 3 each. And you could argue Arteta's would be better because it would be 2 FA Cups and 1 League Cup versus 2 League Cups and 1 FA Cup. I just can't look at that and just go outright unsuccessful. I want one last talking point before the end of the show that I want to go to LB first on this. I don't know if you like it or not. According to Nazir Kinsella, Chelsea are accelerating and advancing their conversations with the youngster Yildiz, amongst other youngsters such as Kobbie Mainoo, revealing their hand again around their transfers for these young players. The correct thing for Chelsea to be targeting to help the young Liam Rosenior going after the likes of the Yildiz and so, in your opinion?
Well, he's under the age of 22, so that's why they want to go for him. Yildiz is a good player, a very good player. Why did they sign Kittens and Garnacho in the summer? Why did they sign them both? That's the question that I asked the Chelsea fans in the summer. Why are you signing 2 bang average left wingers? Why don't you sign 1 as backup and go and get an elite level winger? I like Yildiz, good player. If they sign him, good signing. Yeah. But the whole point was why the fuck did they sign them 2 in the summer in the first place, man? Completely pointless.
I think Yildiz and Mainoo are. I like Yildiz, a good player. I think it's tricking the fan base by going after a shiny name, but it still matches the model. Like where they can sell the guy again for profit. When are Chelsea going to sign the 25? When are Chelsea going to sign the Semenyos?
They're not going to do that.
When are Chelsea going to sign the Semenyos of this world? Like Isaacs. Okay, so they're just tricking. I know Yildiz is a good player. Yildiz is a great addition if you already have an experienced team, a team with like good age up top, like players that can actually win trophies before or they get win trophies. You're tricking the fan base. These guys are absolutely ruining the club. It's just go in the same model but just more shiny names. You know what I
Don't
mean?
know as well.
It's more-
If Yildiz goes to Chelsea, then he's an idiot. He's an idiot. He should go Arsenal. That's what he should do.
yeah,
He should go-
100%.
he should go to
Yeah.
Arsenal.
No,
Not
I agree. I agree. Listen, I think Yildiz is a really solid talent. You know, the things I've looked at, and we all do our research on players. We'll do our Y Scout, and everything else. But big up Don. But I just look at it and go, it's not what they need, but it's what they're going to do. This is it. I will say this to Chelsea fans: this is what you're going to buy. It is going to be young players with potential. And interestingly, I was talking to a journalist who's very close to Tottenham, who says there's a lot of signs that Tottenham. So a couple of things I was told today was very interesting. Yildiz is on Tottenham's list, but this is what this is really a journalist I respect. He said, watch out for Poch returning to Tottenham in the summer. It's part of the reason they're looking at Conor Gallagher, because Poch absolutely loves him. But Spurs also this month, and I'm only sharing, I'm not sharing this as a journalist. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Just what I was told by someone I respect today. They might have to wait until the summer, but Spurs want to go big for Adam Wharton. And they're looking at a top striker as well. They're looking at spending money on a seasoned pro striker. Now, but again, I laughed, right? Because I don't think Spurs are going to pull it off. I think they'll get rejected. I think they're going to try, but I think they'll get rejected. But what come into my mind is Spurs can't try and do that when Chelsea are not, Do you get where I'm coming from? Now, I know Wharton's young, but Wharton's part of a young group of players that I think is different, where I think he's already performing at a consistent high level. Does that make sense? Even as a youngster.
What possible big striker could they go for in the market right now?
Well, there's two trains of thought. He said, one, if Poch comes back, they're going to try and convince Harry Kane to come home. Which
maybe that actually might happen. To be fair.
The other one they're looking at is Victor Osimhen.
Fair fucks them.
Which is what they've said. So
they're probably not going to pay the money, but if they did, fair enough.
Yeah.
Because the fact that no English team bought him in the summer was a laugh, and shows you that these clubs in England aren't serious, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
aren't serious.
Well, it's a crazy one, because again, I got told this, but I trust the guy. He knows Tottenham. I said, why are you not putting it out publicly then? He just basically said, because this is where I feel sorry for journalists. He went, because I'm not convinced they're going to get it over the line. And if I start sharing it and it doesn't happen, the Spurs fans will take it out on me rather than the club for not landing them. So he said, I'm kind of holding on to him. And I said, I'm going to say it on my show today. And he went, yeah, just don't mention my name. But I'm honest with you. I trust the guy.
I'd be very surprised if Wharton goes to Tottenham.
So would I, but the only listen, how you could convince a Wharton, as you say, if you go out and you go, right, Poch is coming back, we're going to play this kind of football, there's the salary that other clubs would give you. By the way, we're also bringing back Kane or going for a top striker. That's how you start convincing players, because you show a difference. How you're never going to convince him is by saying, yeah, you're going to be passing the ball through to Solanke and Richarlison.
I hear it, bro.
You know what I mean?
The problem that they've got is
let's be honest.
The problem that they've got is if City, Liverpool, or Arsenal say, Wharton, we want you, he's not going to Spurs. That's just a fact.
No, I hear that. T here says, what is this waffle from LB? He thinks Arsenal are Newcastle. He thinks we should be grateful for 2 domestic cups with the solid squad.
I think you are one of the most arrogant football fans I've ever come across in my life, that you've not won a trophy in over half a decade. And I'm saying if you win 2 out of the 4 trophies, you should consider that a good season. And you're saying, no, I think you're extremely arrogant, is my opinion of you.
Well, there we go. Look, viewers, I want to thank you all very, very much for tuning into the show today. It means a great deal to us, as you all know. This is going to redirect you to Husam's channel for his watch along with Senegal versus. By the way, I want to thank the likes of Egypt and, of course, Morocco for sending Ahmad and Mbumo home, because we at list need them if we're going to not get battered 10-0 at the weekend. So thank you. But get across to Husam's channel for that watch along. LB, Mo, Hussam, thank you very much for being on the show. Everyone who's tuned in, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we're going to see you all soon. Peace.